An outstanding Georgia Gym Dogs performance on vault and floor was the deciding factor at this week's regional tournament. Stay tuned. We'll have all the highlights next.
The Gym Dog Show is brought to you by Melwood Springs. Melwood Springs from the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Georgia.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Yocklin. Welcome to the Gym Dog Show. Joining me today, as always, is Associate Head Coach Jay Clark. This past weekend, our team traveled to Gainesville, Florida, where we competed in one of 6 regional competitions. Only the top 2 teams from the regional meet could advance to the national championships. And as you will see in today's show, it was a tight race for the Gym Dogs. What do you think of the meet, Jay?
Well, it was an unbelievable situation that we put ourselves in, but fortunately the stars lined up and we were able to work our way out of it. It was a combination of us working our way out of it and getting some help from the other teams that were in the field.
Absolutely, and our team proved that we are strong enough on floor exercise and vaulting to overcome a lot of adversity on the balance beam and still qualify for the national championships. So our team will be traveling to Auburn, Alabama in 2 weeks to compete for the national title. But for today, let's take a look at how the Gym Dogs competed in regionals in Gainesville, Florida. First, we started on the uneven bars event.
We get started off here on uneven bars with Megan Doolin. She's been first up for us the most part of the season. I think she's only not been in bar lineup for one event, one meet. That's a great handstand to start. She does her Higgins to her invert half, to her Tkachev, which is her major release, straddle back to handstand. So far, a very nice routine. She usually gets hit compositionally because she doesn't do the C dismount with any combination. Pretty good handstand there, maybe half a tenth. Nice high double pike dismount, but you can see she takes a step, and that's going to be at least a tenth, and she goes 9.75. Not a bad start, but not a great start either. We're looking to stick those landings, which they've been doing in practice. We just keep hoping it's going to translate into the meets. Audrey, good handstand there. Pretty good giant pull, a little bit late, though. Nice Tkachev. It turns over very, very well. Beautiful straddle back to handstand. So far, this routine is flowing along very nicely. Little short on that handstand. Pretty close. Then a double layout dismount that she pikes through so hard at the end, that's going to be at least a tenth and a half on her landing. So far the landings have been what's gotten us, and Audrey goes 9.725. So we need Nikki to really stabilize us, and typically she does very, very well in this event. Beautiful handstand work, as always. Nice giant pull to a Ginger, legs perfectly together, just something that they look for. Good handstand again, another pack salto for her second release. Handstand half pirouette right on top where you want it. Another good handstand here. You can see she has a slight check there in the hips right at the top. Good giant full to a double back that she sticks. Beautiful bar routine. She goes 9.85. Nikki sometimes gets hit a little bit on amplitude for that dismount. It's just a little small sometimes. Kelsey Erickson up next for us. Actually, Katie was, but Katie fell. You can see that handstand might have been a little short. Big Tkachev here. Second handstand all the way to vertical, which is what we've been working on all year. Nice pike Jaeger here in the middle to an overshoot. Kelsey's difficulty is probably better than anyone else's in this meet. Another Kit Kat handstand. She does a big dismount. It's a forward landing, which is risky. As you can see, she squats and steps forward at least a tenth and a half there again. So consistently, we are not landing well. Ashley Coupette's up on bars to finish out our bar set. Ashley, a little bit of a, she goes for that handstand, a little bit loose in the hips there. Nice giant full, giant half to her Shushanova, which is an E-level release, as we've shown you before. Her bail to handstand, pretty good extension on that. We're finally getting that thing all the way to vertical, which is where we've wanted it all year. Good handstand work there. Another giant full to a double back, and she is the only person on our lineup other than Nikki to stick her landing. She goes 9.85. She and Nikki both with the second highest scores on the bars for the entire night. So we go to beam next. We're a little concerned. Pretty good bar set, as we mentioned a moment ago, but you know, we're a little concerned about where the team is mentally. We don't seem to have that same drive and enthusiasm that we had at SECs. And here on the mount, you can see Kelsey's a little bit tentative, a little wobble there on the front tug to a wolf jump. And then here on a series that she's done for years and years and years, not even close, comes right off the beam. And that hurts when you're first up in the lineup. We put her there because she's very consistent. We put Michelle back in the lineup this week, second up on the balance beam. We need the senior really to come through and kind of get us going again here at this point. Michelle's difficulty is way up there in terms of all the skills that she does. That's a flip-flop layout for her series. Punch front, very well done, which had caused her problems earlier in the year. And here's her leap series, a straddle jump. She'll straddle jump for 2/10 bonus. It's a C to C connection. And then her dismount is really the only place that got her. It's a 1.5. She never could get her chest up over her hips and ended up bouncing and then stepping again. So that cost her probably 2/10, and she winds up with a 9.775. Brittany Smith up on the balance beam. And prior to beam, Brittany had been throwing up, and she'd been fighting off a viral thing. And in retrospect, we may should have pulled her, but she told us she could go, and there she goes. She misses on the switch leap comes off the beam, so we got another 9.025. So far we've had 3 routines, and 2 of them have come off the beam. Nikki Childs is up next, and the freshman, as you might expect, gets a little rattled. Big wobble here. That's going to be a 2 or 3/10 balance check, at least 3 right there, just all over the place. Really a little bit rattled, a little bit tentative now. The girls are tight. They realize they're in a kind of a tight spot here. A ring jump was very nice. Wolf jump to double stag ring. Just little balance checks all the way through. Aerial, front aerial has a slight balance check there at the end. And then she gets ready for her dismount here, which is the pike gainer off the end, which is a C. And a little shift of the feet there. She goes 9.55, so you can see that's like another half fall. With all those balance checks we had through there, it really just was not the kind of routine that we're looking for. Ashley Coupets, as her sister was seen looking on there, going on the balance beam. Starts with a punch front, a little balance check, corrects it, does her wolf jump. But again, not looking overly confident on the beam. We've had those 2 falls. Pretty good series there, flip-flop layout. Ashley ended up being actually our second highest score on the night on the balance beam. Straddle jump to a balance check, so she missed that connection. She adds the wolf jump, but then has a balance check coming out of it. As you can see, we're just all over the place tonight on the balance beam. Switch leap to her dismount, punch front full. She hops the landing for a 10th. She goes 9.7. So we're just doing everything we can to stay in the meet at this point. We really need a hit here. Otherwise, we put ourselves in a hole that it's going to be very difficult to get out of. And Katie Heenan on her mount, on her shoulder roll. Again, a mental breakdown, just hops right off the beam. Really no explanation for that, really no excuse for that. But you can see she finishes the routine strong with a nice double full. She goes 9.4, so the rest of the routine was absolutely beautiful. But we had the 5/10 deduction for the fall, and so now we've counted 2 falls plus a couple of shaky routines.
The Gym Dog Show is brought to you by Melwood Springs. Melwood Springs from the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Georgia. Brown Arrowhead Clinic. Arrowhead Clinic, Georgia's largest spinal health care organization. By Athens Regional Medical Center. At Athens Regional, we have a specialty, you. By Golden Pantry. Golden Pantry, we've got what you need. By McCarr Homes. McCarr Homes, built right where you want to be. And by Loco's. With salads, sandwiches, wings, burgers, and entrees, there's something for everyone at Loco's.
Okay, we're back with my friend from the Herald, Miss Andrea Johnson-Herring, and Senator Sterling Wentworth III. Topic, House Bill 54. Miss Johnson-Herring.
It's appalling. It's like planting a ponderosa pine in a non-Piedmont growth area.
Next topic, what's for lunch? Senator.
New York Strip, still moving.
Miss Johnson-Herring.
Vegetarian.
You're both right. We're going to Loco's.
Tough crowds agree. There's something for everyone at every occasion at Loco's.
Well, you vegetarians are all right.
With over 26 active communities in the Atlanta area, McCarr Homes is committed to providing superior customer satisfaction before, during, and after building your dream home. From affordable townhomes to luxurious estate homes, McCarr has a plan and a neighborhood to fit almost any lifestyle. A certified professional builder with over 40 years experience, McCarr Homes is built right where you want to be. For available home and home plans, visit www.mccarrhomes.com.
Ask Suzanne, brought to you by Makar Homes. And the question is, now that the team has qualified for the national championships in the 12th position, what does that mean in terms of the competition on that day? And the answer is, it's new life. The score coming into the national championships is irrelevant during the national championships. All the scores start all over. So Georgia has as good a chance as any of being the national champion this year. That's Ask Suzanne, brought to you by Makar Homes.
Welcome back. Well, as you can see, Beam was just not a very good day for us at all, with 3 falls and then really another routine that was basically half a fall from Nikki Childs. We're going to floor now, but we're over a point down. And, you know, those kinds of deficits are very, very hard to make up. And the challenge now is how do we get the team to believe that they can scratch and claw their way back into this meet? Suzanne, what'd you tell them on the bye?
Well, I mean, this was a tough one. That balance beam rotation was ugly. And I think that, you know, in 20 years, I can't remember a Georgia team ever doing that poorly on balance beam. But like you said, you know, we were only halfway through the competition, and you don't know what the other teams are going to do when they come to balance beam. So we had to look up. We had to stress the fact that Georgia is very strong on floor exercise and vaulting, our best 2 events, and we still had those remaining. So I told them every 10th counts. And, I mean, you've got to fight it out, or a very good team is not going to be going to the national championship. So that's what they did. They've got to go out there and fight it out. And so we'll head over to the floor and see what happens.
So you can see the team coming out. There's not a lot of energy there, but they seem to be regaining their focus a little bit. Sometimes being in a bad situation will bring a team together. We had to put Sam in on floor as a result of Brittany being sick. She does a great job there with her opening pass, a double pike. Front full, punch front in the middle. Very well executed routine so far, and then she finishes with another double back, a double tuck, which is a D, and just very nice way to get us started off. Really on a moment's notice, Sam Sheehan steps in and does a great job for us and gets us off to a great start with a 9.8 on floor. Next up is Nikki Childs. We moved her to the number 2 spot when Brittany came out. She does her front handspring front double full, which is an E-level skill. Front handspring front layout, which is 2/10 a bonus, C to C. And she finishes with a round-off whip back, immediate double full, which she bounces out of. We've been on her about warming it up that way, and of course it cost her. Those habits sometimes will rear their ugly head when you don't want them to. Then we have Michelle Emmons, very powerful tumbler, beautiful double layout here to open it up. Nikki, by the way, went 9.85. Michelle comes back with a front handspring front full, punch front layout, very well done. Michelle probably has, in this meet, the most difficulty of anybody in the meet in terms of her tumbling. Then she finishes with a very strong double pike. She lands very, very well. Michelle goes 9.9, and we feel like things are beginning to come together for us on floor. They have to, because we're in a situation where we cannot give anything else away. Kelsey comes back next up for us on floor, and she opens with her trademark really high double pike. You can see she almost leaves the screen there. Beautiful double pike. Middle pass is front full, front tuck. This is a D-level skill, again, with bonus. Every routine in this lineup, with the exception of Nikki, finishes with a D, and everyone has Ds in every pass with the exception of Nikki. And then finishes with a nice double tuck at the end, and we've got our second 9.9 in a row. So we're beginning to gain some of the momentum that we really needed to regain after coming off that beam rotation. Next up, Ashley Kupets. And Ashley's routine is very dynamic. Without her in the floor lineup, we're a totally different team. Very dynamic dance there. Opens up with a huge double pike, unbelievable height. She is an incredibly powerful athlete. I think the judges really enjoyed this choreography as well, and the artistry that it shows. She does a front handspring, front full, front tuck there. You see she twisted a little early off the floor, but regained it. Really didn't take any deduction there in terms of amplitude or anything like that. And then she finishes up with a big high double tuck. Big landing there. You know, she did lunge, so I'm not sure if there was a deduction there or not. It was a kind of a deep lunge, but she did show control. She goes 9.9, so that's her third 9.9 in a row. And we've got Katie Heenan coming up, who's been one of the best floor routines for us. Katie winds up opening up with a front double full punch front. Very well done. A little step backwards there, though. That's going to cost her a little bit. And big double pike here in the middle. She backpedals, steps out of bounds. We get a 1/10 deduction there. And then front layout, front full for her last pass. So Katie's just having an off night here at this point. She's really has not had an event that she executed as she has become known for doing. So we end up with a 9.75 after the out-of-bounds deduction on Katie's routine.
Hi, I'm Emily Target. I'd like to ask Kelsey Erickson, what's her favorite junk food?
Thanks for the question. My favorite junk food is a Reese's Blizzard from Dairy Queen.
If you've been injured in an accident, serious neck and back pain may occur. You need to know the pros at Arrowhead.
That's right, Kevin. Car accidents can cause pain that could get worse if not treated immediately. Arrowhead Clinics has been treating auto accident victims successfully for over 25 years. At Arrowhead Clinics, we'll take care of the paperwork for you. Our first concern is your treatment. Call Arrowhead Clinics now if you've been injured in an accident. Relief, recovery, results at the Arrowhead Clinics.
I'm glad I know the pros at Arrowhead.
The Georgia Gym Dogs are red hot. Hot team. Cool water. Melwood Springs, now available at Golden Pantry. Golden Pantry, we got what you need.
Hi, my name is Adrienne Dishman, and my golden moment in gymnastics was last year at SECs. It was a great experience, winning, and I really enjoyed it.
Welcome back. Well, our team had a pretty good performance on floor exercise. Great routines from Kelsey Erickson and Ashley Kupets. We actually gained some ground on the floor exercise event, but we are struggling still 7/10 behind of University of Denver, who will complete this competition in the final rotation on the balance beam while Georgia heads over to vaulting. What do you think of our chances right now, Jay?
Well, we gained 5/10 back, roughly 5/10, so we got almost half of it. It's still a tall order. I don't care what event you're going to or how good you are on an event. When you're 7/10 down and you're going into the last rotation, and basically all Denver has to do is stay on the equipment. They really don't even have to be fantastic on the event in order to use that pad that they have to get us. But we're headed to vault, and the girls are confident. We've done everything we can to keep them, you know, in the spirit of trying to claw their way back into this thing. You know, it's going to be a tough rotation. Let's take a look and see what happens. Okay, so we're going to vault. We've got the same lineup that we've had for the majority of the season. Megan Doolin's going to lead us off, and she does her Yurchenko full that she lands very well, takes a one step there. She goes 9.8, which is a decent start. We're down 7/10, so we've got to beat their beam scores. Denver is on beam, and they're currently in the number 2 position. Beautiful vault, a little pike down the landing and a step there, but a really good vault. Katie Heenan comes up next. Excellent Yurchenko full that she sticks. Beautiful vault. There was not a single 9.9 in the entire meet. 9.85 is what she gets on that vault. Excellent vault here. She does a little bit of an amplitude thing, a little bit of a pike down, but nails the landing, got good distance from the table. 9.85 on this night was really a solid score. Kelsey Erickson up next for us on vault. We really need to bring one home here, and she delivers. She drills that vault, gets a 9.875. We're kind of looking around going, where's the 9.9 when we need it? But an excellent vault, certainly worthy of the top billing on the night, which I believe it was. She scored a 9.875, and it was just a fantastic vault. Good sound performance from one of our leaders there on that event. Ashley Kupets coming up on vault, and Ashley's really got the adrenaline flowing. You see how big this vault is. She just absolutely blasts this thing. Has a difficult time controlling the landing. Little hop there on the landing. 9.775, which we felt like could have gone a little higher. But on the whole, when you look at the scores, on vault for the entire night with a 9.875 winning the whole meet. That's probably correct then. 9.775, mainly because of the landing. Michelle Edmonds is up for us next on vault. She's our anchor. She's the senior. She's got a great vault here. Big vault, little hop there on the landing. We really needed those sticks, 9.85 even without that hop. So she really had the potential there to be the only 9.9 plus vault in the meet had she not taken that hop. It was high, it was far, it was an absolute beautiful vault. So we're finished, and we have no choice but to sit and wait and see what happens to Denver on the balance beam. And there they come. Cassidy Willingham for Denver. Starts them off with her mount. And here's her series. Now they've already had one fall at this point, I believe, and there's the second one. So now they're counting one fall. And suddenly we're back in it, and you don't want ever to root for a team not to do well at all, and that certainly wasn't what we were doing. But if they can just stay on and not have another fall, they can win and go to nationals for the first time in program history. You can tell the kids are tentative. There's some wobbles going on there on her series and on her leap series before that. This is Heather Huppaker. She's a fabulous athlete. Great all-around gymnast for the Denver Pioneers. And then last up for Denver is Sasha Sullivan, who falls on her front tuck mount. So really the only team that has a chance of getting us now is the University of North Carolina, and they are on vault. And coming down on vault, and this is Amy Williams. First up, she goes 9.55. They need to get really 5.99s in order to tie us. So it's highly unlikely that that's going to happen. The first one went 9.55, and then there's a front pike there that goes 9.65. So it is now virtually mathematically impossible for the Tar Heels to catch us, and you can see our fans realize that by the skin of our teeth, we're going to make it to the national championships, which is something we're very grateful for. We're very grateful to get another opportunity. You never want to back in the way we did, but at the same time, we'll take it, and we're looking forward to having another chance to show that this team is capable of winning a national title.
Routine of the Week, brought to you by Athens Regional Medical Center. And this week's routine is Kelsey Erickson on the vaulting as she sticks her vault for the highest score of the competition on that event. That's Routine of the Week, brought to you by Athens Regional Medical Center.
I'm sorry, honey. I know it hurts. Oh, x-rays, they don't hurt at all. It's like a magic eye that looks inside of your body to see if anything's broken. This is where Hannah came to get her stitches out last year, remember? Of course, honey. Mommy will be with you the whole time. And remember, Mommy wouldn't take you here if it wasn't the best place in the whole world.
Athens Regional Medical Center, a passion for medical excellence.
Drop by drop, pure, refreshing. A trickle becomes a stream, flowing from the source, refreshing, fresh, in the store or at your door. Millwood Springs.
Countdown to the NC2As, brought to you by Millwood Springs. After the regional competitions throughout the country, the national standings are as follows. In the #1 position, back there again, is LSU, followed by #2 UCLA and #3 Utah. And you can see Georgia drops to the #12 spot in the country. That's Countdown to the NCAAs, brought to you by Millwood Springs. Well, there you have it. Georgia does fortunately qualify for the NC2A championships for the 22nd straight year in a row. Denver, they really gave it up to Georgia on the balance beam with 3 falls on that last rotation for Denver. So Georgia really didn't win that position. Denver just lost it, but we'll take it any way that we can. Georgia's team is really strong, and we feel like we can come back from this adverse competition tonight. Florida pulled away from the pack early on, hitting all of their routines and really looked sharp. So going into the NCAA championships, unfortunately for Georgia, we're going to go in the number 12 seed in the country. What do you think of that seeding, Jay?
Well, you know, it's unfortunate that a team this good has a mental breakdown, which is essentially what happened to us. But as you said, we'll take it. We'll take it. We'll get in there. We'll try to regroup. We've definitely got to do some self-examining over the next week and a half before we get to Auburn and figure out what we can do to avoid that kind of breakdown again, because this team, when it's on, can beat anybody that's in the field at the national championships and has done so with 8 of the 12 teams that are there. So we still like our chances. We're going to get this thing regrouped and get the ship righted, and we're just looking forward to getting another opportunity to show what we can do.
I think the same way Jay does. You know, that SEC championship win just a couple weeks ago where our team scored over 197 points, that obviously had no bearing on how we competed at regionals. So I have to hope that that poor performance on balance beam at regionals will not have any bearing on how this team competes at the national championships. Under stress and under pressure, they usually come through. So we'll be ready. In next week's show, we'll take a look at how the team will prepare for the national championships, which will be held in 2 weeks at Auburn University in Alabama.
The Jim Dog Show has been brought to you by Melwood Springs. Melwood Springs from the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Georgia. Brown Arrowhead Clinic. Arrowhead Clinic, Georgia's largest spinal health care organization. By Athens Regional Medical Center. At Athens Regional, we have a specialty, you. By Golden Pantry. Golden Pantry, we've got what you need. By McCarr Homes. McCarr Homes, built right, right where you want to be. And by Locos. With salads, sandwiches, wings, burgers, and entrees, there's something for everyone at Locos.